History. Topic. Nationalism in India. First World War, Khilafat and non-cooperation movement. After World War I, 1914 to 1918, the British defeat of the Ottoman Empire sparked the Khilafat movement, 1919, among Indian Muslims, protesting the caliph's removal. Mahatma Gandhi returned to India from South Africa on 9 January 1915, arriving in Mumbai. He introduced a new approach centered on mass participation and nonviolent resistance, satyagraha, transforming the independence movement. The idea of satyagraha. Gandhiji's method of nonviolent protest based on truth. Gandhiji successfully led satyagraha movements in Champaran Satyagraha, 1917, Bihar, aimed at supporting indigo farmers. Ahmedabad Mill Strike, 1918, Gujarat, industrial dispute where cotton mill workers demanded a 35% wage increase after owners withdrew a plague bonus, despite rising living costs. Kheda Satyagraha, 1918, Gujarat, peasants faced severe crop failure and needed tax relief. The Rowlatt Act, 1919. The Rowlatt Act authorized the British government to imprison individuals suspected of revolutionary activities for up to 2 years without a warrant or trial. In response, Mahatma Gandhi launched the Rowlatt Satyagraha on 6 April 1919, marking his first major nationwide civil disobedience movement. Protest methods included nationwide hartals, strikes, prayer, fasting, and large rallies in cities such as Bombay, Delhi, and Amritsar. The Jallianwala Bagh Massacre, April 13, 1919. British troops under General Dyer fired on peaceful protesters in Amritsar, killing over 1,000 people. Rabindranath Tagore renounced his knighthood, and Mahatma Gandhi suspended his non-cooperation, satyagraha, movement. Khilafat movement. The Khilafat movement, 1919 to 1924, was a significant pan-Islamic movement by Indian Muslims, led by the Ali brothers, Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, and others, protesting Britain's harsh post-World War I treatment of the Ottoman Caliphate. It united Hindus and Muslims, as Congress, under Gandhi, supported it to build solidarity for the non-cooperation movement, creating a powerful Hindu-Muslim front against British rule. Differing strands within the movement. The non-cooperation Khilafat movement started in January 1921. Many social groups took part in this movement, each with their own goals. All responded to the call for Swaraj, but the meaning of Swaraj differed for each group. The first is non-cooperation in towns, by middle class. The movement in urban centers started with refusal to engage with British-run institutions and goods. Students and teachers left schools and colleges, lawyers gave up their legal practices, and foreign clothes were boycotted in favor of using khadi. The next is rebellion in the countryside, by peasants and tribals. It features the peasant movement in Awadh led by Baba Ramchandra. Peasants demanded the abolition of high taxes and begar, forced labor without payment. The tribal revolt, Gudam Hills, Andhra Pradesh, led by Alluri Sitaram Raju. Described as a militant guerrilla movement. The tribals were reacting to forest laws that restricted their traditional rights. Plantation workers in Assam interpreted Swaraj as the right to move freely. Towards civil disobedience. The Chauri Chaura incident. The Chauri Chaura incident of February 1922 marked a pivotal moment, as a large group of protesters clashed with police and set fire to a police station, resulting in the deaths of several policemen. In response to this violence, Mahatma Gandhi immediately called off the non-cooperation movement, adhering to his strict principle of non-violence. Swaraj Party. Following the suspension of the movement, the Swaraj Party was formed in 1923 by leaders such as Motilal Nehru and C.R. Das, who advocated for entering the legislative councils to oppose British policies from within the government system. Other prominent leaders, including Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhas Chandra Bose, disagreed with this approach and pushed for a renewed campaign of mass agitation and complete independence, Purna Swaraj, rather than working within the existing framework. Formation of the Simon Commission, 1928. The Simon Commission, 1928, was a British-appointed statutory body led by Sir John Simon to review India's constitutional system. But the reforms excluded Indians, sparked nationwide protests like Simon Go Back demonstrations. Muhammad Iqbal leading the Muslim League, who also boycotted it, demanding self-rule and expressing outrage at the insult to Indian sentiment. Demand for Purna Swaraj. In December 1929, the Indian National Congress, under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru during the Lahore session, rejected Viceroy Lord Irwin's October 1929 offer of future Dominion status. Instead, the Congress passed a historic resolution declaring Purna Swaraj, complete independence, as its primary goal. The Salt March, Dandi March, of 1930 and Civil Disobedience Movement. The 12th of March 1930. Gandhiji marched 240 miles from Sabarmati to Dandi and broke the Salt Law on the 6th of April 1930. Marked the start of the Civil Disobedience Movement. British repression followed, with leaders arrested. Protests occurred in Peshawar, and women and children were beaten. But this was the first major mass movement after non-cooperation, demanding complete independence, which showed the power of non-violent protest and unity and also garnered international support. Meaning of the movement for different groups. Rich peasants, Patidars in Gujarat, Jats in UP, supported it for tax reduction. Poor peasants joined, hoping for relief from high land rents. Business classes, like G.D. Birla, supported the movement to end colonial restrictions on trade and industry. Women participated in large numbers, breaking traditional social norm. Limits of civil disobedience for Dalits and Muslims. Dalits and Muslims felt excluded. Gandhiji called Dalits Harijan, advocating against untouchability. B.R. Ambedkar demanded a separate electorate for Dalits. The Pune Pact of 1932. The Pune Pact of 1932, signed by Gandhi and B.R. Ambedkar, resolved their conflict over Dalit political rights. Pune Pact reserved seats for Dalits but were elected by joint electorate. Gandhiji opposed a separate electorate for Dalits because he feared it may divide Hindus. Hindu-Muslim clashes. Growing communal divide. Talks between Congress and Muslim League failed over political representation issues for Muslims in future legislative assemblies. Hindu Mahasabha under M.R. Jayakar opposed compromise. The sense of collective belonging. Developed through shared struggles, symbols, folklore, and historical narratives. Bharat Mata became a powerful symbol of national identity. The idea was first popularized by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, who composed Vande Mataram in his novel Anandamath, 1870. Later, Rabindranath Tagore gave a visual form to this idea by painting Bharat Mata as a goddess, which deeply inspired the nationalist movement. Folk tales, songs, and prints were popularized in nationalism. Nationalism through Indian ancient history. History was interpreted to portray a glorious Indian past. However, Hindu iconography sometimes alienated other communities. Thank you for watching and listening.